Zачем нужна грамматика? You might tell me, well, grammar is a language skeleton. You need it in order to speak accurately, in order for other people to not think that you are an educated dumbass. And I'll tell you, that's not how I see it. To me, grammar is there for you to express your thoughts, to communicate an idea, to get across a message. It's a communication tool, similarly to functional language or vocabulary or phonetics. It helps you to specify the situation that you're talking about, to place it in the right context, to make it clearer and more descriptive. And if you are treating grammar the way I described before, you probably hate it, you think it's boring, and probably to you, grammar is the furthest from real life aspect of the English language. Am I right? Well, I'm here to change that. I see grammar as a completely different tool, and that's why I believe it has to be studied and implemented into your speech in a completely different manner, without textbooks, without exams, without drilling exercises. It has to be creative, fun, realistic, and interactive. That's exactly why we've created the first stage of our grammar course for advanced speakers, to show you another way how you can study and teach grammar through imagination, storytelling, and applying it to your life. A young combat nurse from the 20th century accidentally travels through time and finds herself in the 18th century Scotland. I really doubted that I would have made it to a ripe old age had I been born in the former times. What if I possessed some sort of superpowers? Would I be applying them to be a helping hand to those in need? I think you've already guessed which cartoon we've chosen for the first chapter. Now, oftentimes, movies and TV shows tend to let their fans down. For instance, not so long ago, here I present to you Grammar Activation Course Conditionals. Do you think you can use all these structures that I'll show you in a second naturally and automatically?
It was just fast. If it had been slower, I think they would have heard it in the control room.
If I were to turn this on, all the flour would go everywhere. But if I had let my fear get to me that day, what would I have missed?
Where would we be if these women had been denied their basic right to education?
Give them more information than they would have had if they were just using our design in the wild.
We would not have had a financial crisis if it weren't for racism.
Her life would have been completely different if her parents had just been a little bit more accepting of the things that she wanted to do.
Well, if only I had 1,000 followers, that would feel amazing.
Who would she be today if she had needed it to be that first?
You can see that in all of these examples, native speakers were turning to conditional sentences because they wanted to express a certain thought. And that's exactly what we'll be focusing on in the chapter of this course on conditional sentences. I can promise you that at the end of the course, you're going to have zero issues with conditional sentences, when to use them, how to use them, what's the difference between them, and how using those structures automatically is going to make your speech richer and more fun to listen to.